Welcome back, everybody, to Off Guard. I'm your host, Austin Rivers, along with my guy, Pausha Hagigi. We are back, as always. Hope everybody is doing well. Pausha, my guy, how are we feeling? How are we living?
I'm doing good. So I wanted to ask you, the Magic so far have only had a couple of nationally televised games in the last couple of years. Magic fans are begging for more. We have Paolo, we have Franz, we want more TV games. But when they've had the TV games, it hasn't gone well. The Knicks game was rough, right?
That was a big one.
And it's an NBA Cup game too. What's the difference? I don't think I've ever asked you this on the pod before, between when you know there's a nationally televised game. I know when you're on the Rockets or the Clippers, you probably had a bunch, so it's kind of all blended in. But is there just a big difference where the Magic knew that game was on national TV?
I would imagine. I would say there's a little bit added more pressure when you're on a worse team. Like when I was playing for New Orleans, we only had like 2.
Yeah.
My rookie year. And that was mainly due to the fact that, we had Anthony Davis, number 1 pick. But those games, felt like a little bit more like, man, everyone's watching this one versus like only our fans will be watching this or fans of whoever on our team. It's a difference. Nationally televised games, people could just be skipping through the TV and fall upon TNT or ABC and just tune in. You get millions of views. So there's a little added pressure, especially if you're on a team that's not as good. So it's a big deal. If you're on like a playoff team like the Celtics, just about every other game is nationally televised. I don't think they care. I don't even think they know which games are not and which. That's how it gets at that point.
Yeah.
Like I was playing for the Clippers or the Rockets. James was like, this is James Prime. Like every game was on ESPN or TNT or ABC, one of them. So it's just, it didn't even matter at that point. You almost let down when it's not. You come to the game, it's like NBA TV or NBA League Pass. You're like, you know what I mean? Like that's where it gets to. So it's just 2 different type of world. The world that Boston lives in is completely different than one like Detroit or what Orlando lives in. The expectations, the way the pressure is, the tension, this. I mean, so it is playing for the Boston Celtics or the New York Knicks or Dallas Cowboys or Los Angeles Lakers. It's prime time. So it's just different, which can be good and bad. When you're bad, everyone knows. And when you're good, everyone knows. You know what I mean? So that's the main difference. The pressure's added because, your performance will depend on how much comments are in your Twitter, your Instagram.
Right. I feel like after the nationally televised games, your mentions are
quadruple, 5 times,
versus
10
a game
times.
that's not. Yeah.
And if you're great, it is a great night. You're on there just, y'all want to go out? Y'all hungry? Like the mood's different. You have a great, when you're bad, you don't even want to go in there. And if you do, you're fighting not to respond to some hack who's just going at you. You know what I mean? So it's tough, but it's way more fun. Having a nationally televised game is like, that's good business. You know what I mean? You want to be, as a basketball player, why wouldn't you want to be in front of the most eyes? It's why people want to play in the Super Bowls, why people want to play in the NBA Finals, the playoffs, where guys get paid. Why? Because everyone's watching. So if you play well, everyone's talking. You can have 4 bad games in a row and have 1 good playoff game, but because everyone saw it, they're going to talk about it a month later. Hey, that one game you was killing. What was that, game 5? It's all that mattered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how guys get paid. Bismack Biyombo had like 20 rebounds in a game, got $70 million. It happens. I don't know what he did the rest of the playoffs, but I know those 3 games he dominated on the boards. That was enough for the Magic to cut him a check. You know what I'm saying? So that's, the more eyes, the better. Players feed off that. They definitely want it.
Well, last pod we talked about randomly how once you get to a certain point in your NBA career, you stop going for those dunks and you stop trying to make the highlights.
I know. Look at
that. And then right after that, Ja Morant comes
Breaks
out and says,
our heart.
I'm not even going.
Breaks our heart.
I'm not even going for dunks anymore, which is insane. I just don't believe it. I feel like he's still going to be dunking and doing crazy
it's human
things.
nature for him too.
Yeah, like what are you going to do?
Stop dunking. Let me speak to Ja well quick. First off, Ja, huge respect for you. Big fan of what Memphis is doing this year, considering you sat out past year or two due to a variety of reasons, injuries and other stuff. He's back now. Memphis is playing at a much better, higher level. They're in the playoff race. What are they, like third seed in the West? Very impressive. Shout out to Ja Morant. In regards to your comments, brother, those are for people who have been in the league for like 10 years. They can start saying stuff like that. Like LeBron's an extreme example because he's already supposed to be well past this. But say someone like, let's give a good example. Someone who's been in the league for
Jason Tatum.
Sure. Jaylen Brown, who's even more of a dunk guy, was like, man, I got to stop dunking as much, man. My body's, I'm getting hurt on the falls. That might make a little bit more sense. The guy's been in the league for a lot longer. He's had a long playoff runs just about every year. A lot of miles on those legs. Ja Morant hasn't played in the Olympics. Ja Morant hasn't gone deep in the playoffs. He hasn't played over damn near 2 years, almost a year, whatever it's been. Plus the injuries, it's been some time. What the hell are we? You should have he should be the bounciest dude. And I know it because I turned on the TV a couple weeks ago and I saw him somersault 360 through the air, do layups. So like, brother, that's why you're box office. That's why your sneakers are going to sell. That's why anything you advertise, whether it's a Sprite or whatever he's a part of, I'm not saying he's a part of those companies, but whatever it is, that's how it's going to sell. That's how you're going to get paid, bro. Is you are spectacular in the air and you're known for it. He's a guy that, I mean, we have football players. Was it Devontae Adams? I was like, bro, he's the most athletic athlete in sports right now. It's not because your layup package, although the 360 did.
Yeah, those are the craziest.
I don't even count that as a layup. Listen, if you're not going to dunk anymore, then I want that. If you're going to do that, then I don't need you to dunk. If you're going to do these crazy ass layups in the air, which are just as dangerous because you're like doing a 360 in the air, that's probably way more dangerous than going to dunk on somebody. I wouldn't know. I've never done a 360 layup in an NBA game. I did one in the Jordan brand game.
I remember that, yeah.
But I was below the rim. He like threw like a chest pass and I was going for a lob. So mid lob, I just caught it and did the layup. It was like an instinct thing. It wasn't like he threw a lob to me and I was up in the air like, why don't you just do a 360? Like John went to dunk and I was like,
right.
Changed his mind. If he's going to do that, I don't have a problem. But like, bro, come on, man.
Don't you think it has a lot to do with it's the effects of guys getting paid just so much money now? They don't want to play in the All-Star game. They don't want to go for that many dunks because it might be the difference between them getting another max contract or not.
I don't know. How I'm always nervous about how calculated the NBA is getting. How we're playing. The analytics. I'm not against analytics. I understand there's a big part of that that's involved in the improvement and evolution of basketball. I'm not against that. I don't like living and dying by all of it. There is a overall feel to basketball. It's a sport, man. It's not a math equation. So although it can help you with, hey, we should shoot more threes and this and that, there's an effect to it, man. Like I watched the game last night. This dude had a wide open layup, bro. Back door. He pump faked and then threw it to the corner for three. Guy missed a three. Came back, three. I'm just like, bro, this isn't as fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm not for it. With that being said, I do believe the NBA is becoming so calculated with the analytical side, with how players are thinking, how they're playing or not playing, what they want to do, first team, second team, all-star, what do I get out of it? Do I not get it? They didn't give a, bro, Vince Carter didn't play he wasn't in the NBA dunk contest to like do something for a check. Bro, he did it because he was the baddest dunker on the planet and it was like expected of him. And he wanted to go prove to everybody like, I'm the best dunker in the world and I'm going to go win. And this is what the stars do. Before, it was like a mandatory thing to do these things.
Yeah.
Okay. And we all know why and who kind of changed the narrative of that. I'm not getting on him because listen, he's done enough for our game.
Oh, man.
And he's had the NBA on his back now for about 21 years. So like he's done enough. It's like really difficult to come at LeBron James considering he's done so much for the game. And we're like,
just one guy doesn't do it, does everyone else has to not do it?
And that's also the other part that's not fair to blame. He's a grown man just like everyone else is in the league. If he doesn't want to do it, other grown men should be able to think for themselves. It's just a compliment to how big of a trailblazer he is, bro. At the end of the day, people follow what he does. He has a huge impact on the game. Brother, we're in the NBA bubble. Every playoff team is in a room. They kicked all the coaches out. They kicked all the personnel out. It is just players in this room. Nobody else. Just players. You know what somebody said? Multiple guys. Melo, first dude, grabbed the mic. He goes, hey, bro, what we doing? Are we playing or not? The whole room, I'm talking about Giannis, Kawhi, you name it. Everyone looks. I don't think Steph was there that year, the bubble year.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Warriors weren't in there. But everyone who was anyone was in that room, looked at LeBron. And the question was like, are you playing or not? Because if you don't play, we're all going home. That's the impact he has. Is it fair? Should it matter? Should LeBron be able to say, I'm going home and the rest of the league be like, oh, we're still playing? But it's not going to mean as much. That's how much impact this guy has. He is the Jordan of our era. And there's not even a conversation about it. I don't want to even get in that argument. It's not up for debate. So when he didn't do the dunk contest, it mattered, bro. It just matters. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it just mattered, bro. Kobe did it. Guy was out there fucking bald, between the legs.
Yeah, he was like 17 or 18.
Had who's Brandy courtside. Like, bro, that was iconic. Vince Carter, we know what he did. MJ did it like 5 times. He had lost some to Dominique. The one he won was controversial in Chicago because Dominique probably should have won that one. But he won. He did a whole bunch of them, though. They all did, bro. Even Blake Griffin didn't even want to do the dunk contest. I know this. He didn't even want to do it. But he's like, man, I'm at that point in time, he's like, yeah, I'm the most box office dunker in the NBA. I got to do it. He jumped over a Kia.
So you're saying basically
the license plate, but he did it.
The players don't do things for the fans.
Everything's just so unless they're getting something out of it, it's so calculated, bro. We're talking about like 101. Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. They're like, yo, 10 million, because they know that that's a crazy number. But that's probably what it would take for guys to do it.
Yeah,
it's so calculated now.